All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SoulCast. We're bringing you the big names. We're doing the Evo qualifier stuff, trying to get all the winners on the podcast here. So, kind of to continue along with that, we're just going to do more winners. That's all we have on this podcast here. I am Scott, a.k.a. Zhang, your host. Unfortunately, once again, my co-host, Billy, he's out this time. His schedule is just pretty much a pain in the ass all around, but hopefully we'll get him back on eventually here. But aside from that, you guys don't want to hear about us. You want to hear about the actual people making a splash out there in the scene. So without further ado, let me introduce my guest with, I guess, his little sidekick, Lost Providence, along with Hawkeye. What's up, guys?
Hey. Hey.
So you had a pretty good weekend, I would say, the other week. So just I always like to ask my guests on just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a background in case they don't know who you are or where you come from or anything. Obviously, you're a Chicago player, but
Yeah.
give us kind of a history of Lost Providence. Like, where did you start? What kind of games were you playing? And how did you get to Soul Calibur 5?
Well, I pretty much played everything, but Soul Calibur always been my favorite fighting game series. So while I was in the army, because I was so lonely and sad, I started actually looking around for tournaments. Then I found out about 8-Way Run. So while I was actually on leave from Afghanistan, my brother, he went to some little tournament, and he told me it was this guy that beating everybody ass with I think mitts or something. So I was like, damn, it's a Soul Calibur tournament. I was like on my last day of leave. I got out of bed with my girl and I rushed to the tournament. And so I had like a 30 something win streak. But then scrawny white kid, I know it because I was tired. I was about to get up. He told me, no, you gotta sit down and play me. So then this jackass get on the controller, right? And he started changing his buttons. My brother like, what kind of button layout is that? I'm like, man, this dude about to pick Hildy on me. Who the fuck is this guy? So then after he kicked my ass with Hildy, I had Cassandra, I believe. We started talking, and then I found out that was Thuggish Pun or Damien, who's a good friend of mine now. He's still a bitch, but a good friend.
Oh, you can't hold on to that forever, man. It's what happens. So that's kind of crazy. I did not know that you were in the army. Oddly enough, you're not the first one. There's actually a bunch of people in the fighting game scene who are part of the military, which kind of crazy to me. Because like Mick, I don't know if you guys know, he's in the army. I know there's a couple guys on the Tekken side. There's one really well-known player who's a Marine. So we got all that military love going around, but sounds like you started with Calibur. You've been with Calibur, for since you started playing the fighting games and whatnot. I'm guessing you'll probably continue with Calibur. So let's talk about you mentioned the tournament you went to. So let's talk about the tournament you recently went to. So obviously, for those who are in the dark and underneath a rock somehow, Lost Providence is your UFGT winner. So he got himself some Evo points. So my first question, is this your first UFGT, or were you there last year or the year before?
No, this is actually my first one. I forgot what happened last year. I don't think they had Soul Calibur.
No, they didn't. But you never know if you played any other games. Or I know there was. I don't think it was UFGT, but Heart Nana. He had a tournament at the same place last year, and they had Calibur 2.
Yeah, that's why we didn't go.
That's no Calibur. It's no interest to you guys.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, aside from winning, I mean, obviously that's pretty awesome experience. I'm sure you were happy about that. But overall, how was your experience at the event? Like, how long were you there? Did you do anything else aside from Calibur while you were there?
I played in dive kick. And apparently I'm a fraud. Right after I won the tournament, I got my ass kicked by some random guy in dive kick.
So Calibur and dive kick, that was all you did while you were there?
Yeah, we mostly just played casual since we don't get to, see everybody so much. We play a lot of Calibur casuals, talk to people, and walked around pretty much.
So how did you feel about those casuals? Like, what sort of competition were you? Obviously, you played Mateo and those guys in the tournament, but
Yeah.
did you play anybody else outside of the tournament that maybe you didn't get a chance to?
Yeah, I played a lot of people, but like the first day I was pretty tired because I had just come from swimming, I believe, and then I came and picked up Hawkeye because he was just getting off work, and then we went there, and I was pretty much falling asleep, but I probably played like 50, 60 matches, and I had like a 40-something win streak for a while, so I
Oh,
think that was intimidating for some people.
nice.
But I like to play and teach people too, so I didn't
Wow.
really think anything of it.
Well, I see you calling everybody scrubs. That's what I heard.
No,
That's what I heard out of that. That's what I heard out of that. So, how did us? Obviously you won the tournament, but how did you feel about the competition that was there? Like of all the players that you played, do you think like everyone was up to par? Do you think there were some real killers at the event, or how do you place everybody else aside from yourself?
well, I think Mateo is definitely like the best Mitsurugi in the United States. He like goes off his fundamentals. The only thing he's lacking right now to me is some matchup knowledge of things he could be doing, especially playing a character like Mitz. He can pretty much go bananas. And like I think when we play, he gives me too much credit. Like I don't know how to explain it, but he gives me too much respect as a player. And I was telling him he needs to get rid of that so he can, just run people over.
So you just said matchup knowledge. I take it that you're specifically talking about Viola, or do you think he had some other issues?
Not just Viola. It's not like crippling stuff, but he just needs that so he can expand his game a little bit more, and then like he could easily be winning a lot of these tournaments with just some of that knowledge. Cause like Mitz has the tools to play so many different ways and just be threatening, and he's really good with him. On top of that, any good player with Mitsurugi is a threat.
All right. Well,
And
oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You interview me.
Well, exactly, but I don't want to cut you off if you have
No,
things to
it's
say.
cool.
So, okay, well, we got your opinion there about Mitsu and Mateo, but let's talk about you and Viola. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's my baby.
so you just mentioned, the matchup knowledge with Mateo. So do you think that was the main reason that you won that match was because he
Uh,
didn't really know what he was doing against Viola?
it's not the main reason I won. So I think it's the reason I didn't have as many problems as I could have. Like he started catching on to some stuff he could be doing, but like I've been playing viola since the game's come out, and I played with Typhoon who plays Mitsurugi, so I know like other stuff I can do to work around things.
Mhm.
But it's still like Mitch can just throw shit out, and it's like a mix up mind game, whether he had advantage or disadvantage, especially against her because she can't punish and she doesn't have any range.
Gotcha. So do you think, even though obviously it looked kind of one-sided because he didn't really know how to handle the Viola stuff, but do you think that you represented her well, or do you think like there were some what's the best way to put this? Like there were some rough edges that maybe you could have cleaned up, or do you think you did a really, really solid job? Like, give us like your own self-assessment. Like, how do you think you did? Do you think like you were just playing like ass and just managed to scrub some stuff out, or do you think like that was the top, like that you were playing and you were at your best?
Oh, well, Hawkeye was saying something. I couldn't hear him though. Yeah, like again, like I got a pretty bad. Yeah, I get really nervous in tournaments.
Mm.
Like I won't be afraid to admit before this tournament, I thought it was like a stomach flu or something, but I was actually throwing up before the tournament every day. And so, like, when I played Mystic Bill, I played pretty badly. And then, like, when I got into the grand finals with Mateo, I was pretty much on autopilot. Like, I noticed shit that I shouldn't have been doing that I kept doing, but I just didn't adjust because I was, like, in a different world.
Gotcha.
But
So you expect a lot of growth then? Is it like as you continue to go to tournaments?
Yeah, I expect a lot of growth from me and everybody, but some people can't. So
So obviously, you got Hawkeye back there in the background, and there's a lot of people that consider him, one of the best, if not the best player in the country. Where of all the killers out there that are playing in the U.S., where do you put yourself on that? And you don't have to include turning nerves in there, but just like where do you think you are on that scale?
well, that's actually an interesting question that you asked because even though like if you meet me, I talk a lot of shit. I'm actually really humble, so I don't feel like I'm the best, but I know I can beat anybody. I know it's nothing anybody else can do that I can't do, and like maybe I'll lose, but I know it's not because somebody's a better player than me. It's just that they played better than me that day.
Gotcha. So do you what's a good way to see this? So okay, so you do consider yourself one of the best in the nation, but you're humble yet you talk shit. So is the talking shit thing, is that like a strategy, or do you just do it for fun, or why you?
Well, no, I think it's really a black thing.
Wow.
Honest, like growing up, that's pretty much you sit around, you talk shit and have fun, And some people, I mean, maybe I go some far too sometimes, but I grew up I had pretty masculine upbringing, so you just rub that type of stuff off and don't think too hardly. I mean, of course, if you getting scuffed up in a tournament or something, you probably too salty. You're not gonna take it like just fun. But honestly, I don't really care sometimes how people. I know who I can talk shit to without them being a baby. Most of the time, it was like a surprising event at MLG Ohio that I won't get into, but most of the time I can gauge somebody's personality. Like, oh, he gonna brush it aside. I won't like some new player just come. Oh, I'm about to fuck you up. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna. I'm not that type. I think I'm a pretty nice guy.
It's funny that we're on this topic because when I was there, I think it was Friday night, was when my caliber bracket was, and I was sitting there playing some casuals with I can't remember what the guy's name was, but I think he was a friend of Ryujin. And some random 2D player comes up behind us, and I had just beat him on a set, and the last match was a perfect. And this guy just starts talking all sorts of trash, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it. That's the worst fucking caliber player I've ever seen in my life." And then this dude gets up, and he's like, okay, I'm not black, so I'm not going to say the N word or anything, but he was dropping the N word a lot and like saying, "What motherfucker? Let's put down money." But it was intense. It was an intense moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, they come off those hard losses. A lot of people gauge themselves as being better than they really are, and they think they shouldn't lose. They give themselves too much credit, and other people too little credit. So then you lose, and you want to save your ego, and that's like, even though you didn't say anything to him, he just like, I don't know how to explain it. He just like, I'm gonna tear you down,
Yeah.
You should have told me. I would motherfucking put him in his place, but.
Well, no, I didn't need to do anything because the guy who was talking shit, he got put down. Like the guy that I was playing with, he was not having any of it. He was so mad. And this guy who was talking shit, he didn't even play Caliber. Like he didn't even play Caliber. He was playing, I think he was like a Marvel player or something like that. And the guy that I was playing against, he didn't care. He was like, "Well, you play Marvel 2? Let's play Marvel 2. $100. What's up? Oh, Marvel 3? We'll play Marvel 3. Let's do $100." Like he was so rattled by it. It was hilarious. But so anyway, enough of that. So I do have some questions to kind of move along, but before I put the UFGT thing, on the back burner, any like last comments about UFGT? Any like things that stood out or things that you want to comment on?
What? Oh yeah, it was a lot of Chicago players that we had never met or heard of before that were actually pretty good. but a lot of them don't come to 8-way run, so and that's pretty much like where we go to find other people to play with.
Gotcha. So
But other than that, it was a really well ran tournament too, for especially not to put the whole fighting game and esports thing on because I'll say how I feel about that. But for a fighting game community tournament, it was really well ran.
Yeah, I always think it's a really good time. I know there were a lot of people that were, or at least a couple people that were a little chafed, I guess you could say, about the entry fee and whatnot for it. But it's a 4-day tournament, so you're bound to be paying something.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, those Chicago players, how did they find out about it if they weren't on an 8-way run?
Oh, they probably just go places like SRK or see a tournaments being posted for other games and oh shit, it's Caliber there too. Let's join up. But it was actually some really good players. I don't think too many one in particular he didn't get streamed. Steve is name, right? Yeah, he's like a really good maxi player from Chicago, but he didn't get put on stream. So.
Oh well, that's okay. You guys can bring him up, and then when he actually does get on stream, he can go beast mode,
Yeah.
represent Chicago. So okay, well good. Well, we'll put a cap on the UFGT thing, and let's kind of look into the crystal ball a little bit. So now you got some serious Evo points.
That's what Viola does.
But now you got them Evo points, and I can't remember if I asked during the Hawkeye podcast, but are you heading to Evo as well?
Yeah, I'm going for sure.
Okay, are you guys like gonna go together, carpool, whatever?
I'm flying. I'm not sure. I don't even know if he's sure if he's going or not.
He just wants that big MLG money, then he's gonna retire.
Yeah, that's what a lot. Well, I don't know because the entrance for Anaheim was lower than I expected it to be. So I don't know what the hell people want really.
So you're definitely going to Evo. Is there anything between now and then that you plan on heading out to?
Of course, Anaheim.
Oh, you are going out to Anaheim then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to pick up a Virtual Fighter and Tekken. Hopefully, I'll play Virtual Fighter at Evo, but I know I'm too behind in that to actually do too well. But maybe my fundamentals carry me a little bit, at least to the top 16 for the money.
Yeah, well, I hope then you can get paid.
So.
Well, I guess it depends. I think Evo is a little better than MLG about paying out. So, which I'm actually curious. Has Hawkeye gotten paid yet for his win?
Yeah, Hawkeye got paid and he blew all that shit on coke and hoes. No, seriously, just coke.
Oh man, so silly. Okay, so aside from MLG and Evo, is that it for the next couple months, or were there any other tournaments you plan on busting up?
Well, I'm pretty much like we'll see a tournament, then we're like, hey, you want to go? Because I know I'm like really busy most of the time because I got so much shit going on. But like, if I can get a free weekend and I got the cash, I don't really mind going anywhere. But as long as other Chicago people come with me.
Yeah, I like how not to put anybody on blast or anything, but I'm going to put Hawkeye on blast. I can't believe you showed up to UFGT and didn't even enter the fucking tournament.
I had to work.
God, you just got paid from MLG. Take a day off.
Run a tournament on a damn Friday. That's crazy.
Oh man. So okay, so now I got a big picture question. This kind of goes to both of you guys. So with Evo coming up and MLG is going to be big too, is Chicago the city to beat? Or do you think that maybe ATL or maybe there's some other East Coast area, maybe SoCal? Who do you think who going into Evo, who do you think's going to be the biggest scene that's going to cause the most ruckus?
Well, this Hawkeye right here, but it pretty much goes by how many top players they have in those scenes. Because Chicago, I honestly can say we have at least 4 major top players in Chicago.
Everybody in Chicago is really good.
Yeah. And then when you look at other places like New York, the only people you can really pick out of there is Ramon, Dream Killer, and SU. Whereas for
And
you
Dream Killer hasn't really been playing, so you don't even know that for sure.
Well, yeah. And then you go to places like, what, ATL, and all they really have is, what, RTD?
Mick, what the hell?
Tennessee.
Nick from Tennessee. He don't
But
count.
dude,
Oh,
either way.
whatever. Okay, even though he's Tennessee, he considers himself ATL. He's always been ATL. Everyone has always considered him ATL. So he'll forever be ATL. I don't care what anybody says.
I guess. But yeah, Chicago's definitely one of the places to beat, though.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Gotcha. So then, kind of to follow up that question, how do you guys think an honest assessment? How do you guys think you're going to do at Evo? Do you think like you're going to get 3-4 people in the top 8? How do you think that's going to come
We
down?
gotta get 3-4 people to Evo first.
Yeah.
So far, the only ones guaranteed to go is LostProvidence. I mean, I can go, but I'll wait till the last minute.
What the hell is Damien doing? Like he went to final round and then he just kind of fucking disappeared.
I understand him out because he loves the game, but
we talked about him yesterday. He's talking about it's the plane ticket now.
I think it's just the money deal for him.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah,
because I know he's still playing.
He just played with us yesterday, actually.
And he didn't show up at UOTT either. I figured he'd at least make an appearance.
He said, and I quote, "I ain't paying no $50 for that shit."
That fucking guy. He didn't have to pay $50 if he pre-registered, but
yeah,
what a clown. Well, who do you guys think is the top player in the country right now? Who do you like? Give me your top 3
in the U.S.
Yep, in the U.S.
My personal opinion. Let me fucking.
That travels to tournaments, though, right?
What's up?
The ones that travels to tournaments?
You can do it however you want to do it. I want to know who you think are the top players in the States right now.
Can we at least do top 5? Shit.
Sure, yeah. Then do top 5. That's fine.
Well, wait, you want to answer first? Because I got a long ass answer. You answer first.
Well, not including ourselves, then, right?
That's up to you. If you want to put yourself in the top 5, I'm totally cool with that.
That's your interview.
Well, I personally, the way I think, this is LP right now. It's a lot of different play styles. So
that's a cop out. Shut up with that. Give me your top 5.
I'm gonna give you my undisputed top 5, and I'm not gonna include myself because, like I said, I'm a humble guy. But undisputed top 5, I would say Ramon definitely. Woes, even though he hasn't been to a fucking tournament because he a broke college kid also. RTD, my man Hawkeye, and see, I would say Lolo, but he's from Mexico, so let me get my 5th player.
You have people like SU. No, do you got?
Oh, give me one.
Mateo.
Mateo is he's really good, but he just gotta get over that little hurdle. So right now, not him. Let me think of him. I want a fucking 5th person now. 5th. Oh yeah, Link. I forgot about Link. Shit. He went to that one time. I'm imagining he's Groot. I just know from the way he plays that he's really good. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So Link, that's my other one. But Hawkeye. He said woes.
Oh, he's.
Yeah, bitch.
I guess I'll put, of course, woes up there. Ramon. Fucking, I used to think. No, I'm not going to say that.
I know what he was about to say. He was about to do somebody.
Alright, woes, Ramon. Mateo, I definitely think he's good. Link as well. And we just had this conversation. Yeah, because we was talking about. He's recording. Fuck.
Yep, the recording. I'm not stopping. If you slip this time, I'm not fucking editing it. So.
I forgot I would have said Partisan, but he's from Canada.
Yeah, he's from Canada. We love
But
Partisan.
He's starting to play like Chicago, so that alone makes him really good.
So let me ask you guys this then. I mean, LP, you're going to go to Evo for sure, and then Hawkeye, you're still up in the air. But assuming that you go, who worries you the most? Like, who are you most afraid of running into in the bracket?
Anybody that uses fucking Mitsu.
Anyone who uses Mitsu well. And I guess random Mits too, because Mits just so fucking good. But honestly, like I said with the whole nerves thing, Lola and I were talking online one day, and I actually like even random people. I guess it's a double-edged sword for me because I always try to play solidly and read people. So even random people scare the shit out of me. So I really don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, I noticed you had a little bit of a scare when I was watching. You were playing a Wisconsin player. His name's Caleb. And like based on the way that you two were playing, I mean, you were having a really rough time. But I mean, it seemed like you were by far the better player, but you were having a really, really rough time playing. He plays Siegfried, and but I also know that you at the time you were having a little bit of a controller issue.
Yeah,
because Xbox was kind of junky, but
the controller I was using, my R2, it wasn't working because it wasn't my control. Well, it worked, but I pressed buttons like really soft, and like the way I pressed it, it wouldn't register. So I was like, oh shit, shit. And then like he was just trying to go ham on my ass. Like I remember that match, like the second match after he picked the stage, it was really bad for him. But like the first match, I remember it was really close for some reason. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but
Well, I know that you swapped out controllers at some point. And you got something that wasn't so goddamn garbage.
It was actually his controller that I ended up swapping out for. So
yeah, I think I used his controller as well because it was like an old school PS1 controller with that stuff.
Really well.
So okay, so we got kind of the event stuff kind of taken care of. So I know everyone wants to hear about Viola. So let's talk a little actual SoulCast.
Yeah, I love talking about that bad little bitch.
So let's start with the logical first step. Let's go with what made you choose her. What made you choose Viola when the game came out?
You want to hit a serious? You can't laugh at me, but I don't like. Ever since I was little, like even first fighting game like Street Fighter 2, I always played like female characters. I don't know why. I just like their designs more. I don't know. So then, like in SoulCast 4, my main character was Setsuka, but my bad bitch got replaced. So like I had planned on playing Viola already, and I was playing it since the game came out. But like pre-patch, she was like really bad. She was really bad. Yeah, she was just fucking bad. I loved her, but I would like Typhoon, who's a turtle. He was even rushing my shit down with her, and I was like, damn. I was actually gonna play her at a couple tournaments, but the other Chicago players taught me how to use them. That's why I ended up using Mitsurugi at MLG Ohio. But pretty much I just like her character, not her first player costume, her second player costume, and her design. And then she's a really aggressive character. Like the way I like pressing buttons and shit. And like just I think about when I'm playing, I actually think ahead a lot, so I know what I'm gonna do. And she like a character where if you take an action so fast and your opponent lagging behind, you can really like run them over.
Gotcha. So, well, I'll tell you this: you definitely aren't the first one to play girl-only characters. You for sure are not the only one in the world.
I know.
I've run into a few that just can't get enough of the chick characters. So
titties, man, it's the titties.
Yeah, I do love titties.
And she's always holding the ball,
But I do think she's like definitely the best, one of the better designed characters in the game.
So you also mentioned Mitsurugi. Are there any other characters that you're really, really good with?
Well, I play like pretty much like to a competent level, like most of the characters in the game. But if I say it really good with, Probably Pyrrha. I guess people claim I'm decent with Alpha Pat, but I don't really play well. Regular Patroclus. Who else do I fucking play with?
You put 6B Natsu.
Fucking 66B Natsu. Basic ass Mitsurugi, which is all you need.
True story. Okay, so so let's kind of talk about the viola thing a little bit. So there's not a lot of viola players out there, and I would say you're probably one of, obviously at least right now, the premier viola player. So why do you think that is? Like you said, you gave us your own reasons for why you picked her. Why do you think she hasn't been really, like, based on Hawkeye's experience? He found out that there's a lot of people that have pocket violas that just like, hey, I'm gonna try to run you over with shit you don't know. But for people who actually put the time in to main her, why do you think there are so few?
Well, the thing about me too is because, like I said, I play a lot of fighting games, and I'm actually, like, especially for only playing with like my brothers and stuff growing up, I'm really good at them. Like Guilty Gear, I used to be really good at, but I never went to a tournament because I didn't even know about this thing. So a lot of Soul Calibur players, they only play Soul Calibur, and they don't know, like, they understand to a point, like, why stuff is good. I mean, stuff that's good, but they don't understand completely why it's good. And like Viola, she doesn't really play like traditional Soul Calibur. So even if you play like you said, Viola where shit's working against people who are ignorant to a character, which is another point I want to hit on. Why I think a lot of people who do play her will end up dropping her once people start falling for so many gimmicks. But what the fuck was I saying?
No. You said it perfectly. I completely understood. So people, I think you're absolutely right. Like she looks completely different and plays completely different from your typical Caliber character.
Yeah, and a lot of people, especially at high levels, they don't like taking risks, And like when it comes down to it, Viola, she can't punish. She like has no range, but she has like unconventional types of options. So a lot of people can't get out of that box of playing Soul Calibur, like playing the way they played other Soul Calibur. So even if they have a pocket violas, like just the way they play styles in general, they don't fit her. Like my play style, I think I honestly just naturally mesh with the character.
Gotcha. So
that's in shit.
Gotcha. So you mentioned earlier that that pre-patch you thought she was bad, and now she's
garbage.
Yeah, and now she's one of the better characters in the game. So what changed that makes her so good now?
Well, she was pretty much like she was unsafe, like even on shit that was like mediocre, and she's still unsafe on a lot of stuff she needs, but she actually has safe options that have decent frames on it too, and like so you can, even if you at disadvantage, you can play the reverse mix-ups and create pressure and make people more afraid. And like a lot of people are already afraid of some of her tools, but it makes you can expand like more on her basic tools, cause of safety. Like you don't gotta, okay, he's doing all this dumb shit, I'm gonna do this, but if he blocks, I'm getting punished, and now I gotta wait some more. It's okay. Maybe he'll do this, or maybe he'll do this, so I'm gonna throw this out and just wait and see. And then, I don't. It's hard. It's more high level type thinking for me, but
gotcha.
Just her safety in general.
All right then. Well, I don't want to. This isn't a character specific, enter or podcast or anything. So I don't want to go too much in depth.
Fuck Natsu. I love talking about Viola. That's so crazy.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the Viola podcast. I promise I'll reach out to you so you can just go on for hours.
I forgot. I want to add one thing.
Oh yeah, what's up?
I love this character because so many people bitch about her. So like when I play somebody and then they win it and then I tag their ass, with a combo or two or ring them out, and then they just get so frustrated they start getting hit by like every fucking thing I throw out. That's my favorite part of the character. I love this shit.
So yeah, you just like getting under people's skin then. Huh?
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, that kind of leads in well to my next question. I was going to ask how do you think Caliber 5 compares to other calibers, and is this your favorite fighting game?
Favorite? Well, with the first question, I think it's a really good game. It doesn't play complete like it's still all of Soul Calibers at the base have played like Soul Calibur, and it still does. But some of the system changes make it stand out more from the other ones. Like when I'm playing good people, it's like my favorite fighting game ever. But when I'm getting tagged by dumb shit by bad people, then I'm getting not mad, but it's like, okay, why the fuck can this guy just do this and actually be a threat with this, you know?
So is that a good thing or a bad thing that it's different from other calibers?
I'm pretty well, it's a good thing too because I'm pretty reflective and makes me see, you know, my own habits and what I'm doing. So it's good in that respect.
So Caliber seems to be obviously your primary fighting game right now, but is it your favorite? Because you mentioned the Guilty Gear, so I'm wondering.
Yeah, Caliber is my favorite 3D fighting game. Guilty Gear is my favorite 2D, but nobody plays that shit, so it doesn't matter.
That is true. I actually run some tournaments for the local scene here, and we got a lot of 2D players, but there are some hardcore Guilty Gear guys, but there are not a lot of players.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Yeah, they're hardcore, but they're not very.
Hit PSN though.
Okay, so with that, one thing that I've trying to ask people more often. I want to bring them on because people seem to want to hear about this, but they kind of want to know like what your training regimen is and how you go about this. So I kind of asked, we discussed this when we did the Hawkeye interview because you guys get together. It sounds like on a regular basis. But is that where you get most of your practice, or are you like a training mode, like you sit there forever in training mode and just you're in the you're in that mode and you're just doing that and you're just studying, or maybe I don't know, maybe you're even an online guy. So how do you work most of your time?
Well, the thing is like if something giving me problems or I don't completely understand something, I go into like trainer mode and like I set up what it is and then like possible routes that the match might take, like say Astroph's 4-4A, the guard break mid horizontals giving me problems. I might go into training and I'll be like, okay, first I'm gonna see what happens if I just guard it. Then I'm gonna see what happens if I GI it. How the match will play out from there, or maybe I make it so I get hit by it, or maybe I try to step back and then block it and just see what their options are from that point on. But like really, when I'm actually playing somebody, I'm not like I try to go in with fresh slate, like they can do anything at any given point, and what's like I mostly try to outplay people, so I don't. As far as training, I might like practice some punishment frames or like ways to get around stuff, but when it comes down to it, I guess just playing good people helps me to be better. And yeah, Chicago got really good people who sometimes annoy the fuck out of me when we playing, but
so yeah. Is that where you get most of your play time? Is when you're actually playing against other people, or does training time take up more?
Playing against other people, definitely.
Okay, so I asked Hawkeye this on his interview about the online play, and he said he plays it a little bit, but he really doesn't like it all that much. Are you in the same boat? Do you like hardly touch online play, or do you actually hop on every once in a while?
Well, like if I got time, because like I said, I'm really busy, I hop on and I'll play it. But the thing is, I enjoy it, but I don't like a lot of people take it so seriously because I know it's online and something online might not be viable offline and vice versa. so I don't take it so serious. I try to play good people just so they can open my eyes to, stuff I may haven't seen before. But if I take like a loss or a win, I don't take it to heart like other people, Hawkeye included.
Oh, so now we know Hawkeye is super salty.
He gets salty as shit.
So, all right. Well, okay. So you told us a little bit about what you do in training mode, and you kind of mentioned when you play with other players that at least when you're getting casuals in, that you go into it with a clean slate. So for those who are trying to get better out there, kind of the newer players, expand on that a little bit. Tell us what sorts of things you're focusing on to get better while you're playing.
Training mode, or just period?
What's up?
In training mode or just period?
No, when you're actually playing other people.
Well, like I like to go back, like say if it's a tournament, I watch a lot of my own videos, so I try to see what habits I might have, or like what's giving me problems. And a lot of times, like I don't think a lot of people can change their habits, but the thing is, I do, and it's part of the reason why I think I'm able to make so many comebacks on fly is I recognize my own habits, and then I try to see how other people might react to those, and then punish them for making smart choices. But that's more high level, I guess. So for a new person to the game, I honestly more recommend playing like the CPU, just to like get you familiar with everything, and go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's funny that you mentioned that because while I was at UFGT, I think I was talking to Mystic Bill, and we got on the discussion of the computer in SC5. And for those who aren't aware, when you go to the I can't remember what the mode is called, but what's up?
Legendary Souls.
Sure, yep, that one where you go play the ghosts. Is that the one where you play people's
battle? Yeah.
Yeah. So those are specifically set up so that they only do certain things a certain percentage of the time. So it's not like turning the computer on hard or ultra hard and they're going to break every grab no matter what. Yeah. And some big names are in there too. Like I know Mick is in there, RTD is in there, Damien, he's in there.
Is in there.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of and you can just keep rematching that person over and over again. So for those I'm glad you mentioned that because if you grab those ghosts, they won't always break it. They'll do whatever the tendency of the player is. So
and like I was talking about habits, I don't know how the hell they know this, but like I was saying, I got my ghost in there, and it actually 2A is a shit ton, and that's like my favorite thing.
Well, I'm sure that they pulled some match videos or something from you, and then just started analyzing you and breaking you down. So there you go. So I personally, I would not want my ghost in there because then you got people practicing for me and trying to headhunt on me when I go to tournaments. No, thank you. I don't want anything to do with that. Yeah. But for those trying to get better, you can always do that and try to beat up LostProvidence. While he's in the ghost mode. Well, I'm running out of questions here. I think I'm coming to the end of my list. Aside from what you just mentioned, were there any other last comments that you want to make about Caliber 5 before we kind of moved on?
We hope that MLG keep 5. Shit.
Yeah, we hope the community actually just like everybody understand people don't have money growing on trees, but if you can, just come out and support the game, whether it be locally, online, just do what you can to support the community. Everybody can contribute in one way or another.
We can donate too. Shit.
Yeah, that too, but fuck that.
It's one thing for those who don't realize it, MLG, they make most of their money off of advertisements and stuff. And, it's a lot like a TV network. When people tune in online, they make more money. So if you want to support MLG and, Caliber, figure out when they play it and watch it online. I mean, they get paid for that, and that's where a lot of those sponsorship monies come from. So, definitely something to do. And same with Evo too. I mean, for me personally, I am not going to Evo this year, but I will be watching it, and that helps support them. And
Yeah, that's one. Everybody can do their part, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that was pretty much the last question I had. But I am going to put you on the spot for a minute. I mean, I know you don't seem afraid at all to put anything on blast, but I do have a little segment at the end that I like to put you on the spot and give you a little soapbox, and I want to know what makes you angry. And it doesn't have to be video game related, but I want you to just rant and bitch about something. So I'm going to throw it to you. What makes Lost Providence hate and salt and all that good stuff?
This is too
Seriously, I'm really laid back, but one thing that just gets to me, huh? Oh yeah, I don't like people lying on me or lying. Period. I feel like especially a guy, have just come to me as a man, and then I that was part of the whole fucking MLG Ohio incident that I won't get into. Why I almost got into a fight over that shit. But then I'm pretty laid back for the most part. I hate fucking Chicago. Well, like downtown Chicago. Like people just walk in front of your fucking car at a traffic light while you got a green light and look at you like you're an asshole. I hate that shit.
You must not make it out to New York very often.
Yeah, we went there, but at least everybody a shitty driver in New York,
Well, no, I'm talking about like the people, like
they got shitty attitudes too.
Yeah, street lights don't matter. They might as well not exist. Everyone just walks across. It doesn't fucking matter. I remember last time I was in New York, it was a green fucking light, and literally, like, it's like cows, like, going across the street. Like, there was a big fucking herd, and luckily my uncle, like, he lives out there, so he's like, fuck it, I'm just driving through people. People get out of the way, because that's how you gotta be in New York, but, like, it was ridiculous. I was like, it's a fucking green light. Get the fuck out of the street. But
I hate with that too. I really hate people I don't mind if people change lanes without putting on their fucking signals, but people like try to slide right in front of you and do that shit. I hate that shit. Like I just fucked with some dude over today actually because it was like 3 accidents on my way to Hawkeye's house, and so I hate the people who try to switch lanes late. So this jackass came driving up, and then he tried to get in front of me, so I fucking sped up, and then I looked at him and laughed, and I felt good.
You like cutting people or stopping people from cutting you off, huh? But you're on a bike, right? You don't drive a car.
No, I drive a car. I just ride my bike everywhere.
Oh, I thought like you were like a motorcycle guy.
Oh no, hell no. Myself.
Yeah, you're not trying to die, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that's all I have. So, as a final cap to the interview, just for all those listening, we Northwest Majors just finished up, and I'm trying to remember who I just looked up who won that.
He didn't won that.
Who did?
My boy Heaton.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He won. So we'll reach out to him, see if he wants to get on. And
he's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's an amazing guy.
Guys.
Yeah. He talks a shit ton. I was trying to fucking sleep when I went to Phoenix, and this dude kept talking to me. Like, man.
He just liked you, Lau. What can you say?
I like him too, but I want to take a fucking nap.
Well, we'll try to get him on and get his chatty self on the podcast so everyone can listen to him. But aside from that, that's all I got. Once again, for everyone listening, we got MLG Anaheim that's coming up real quick. East Coast Throwdown, same weekend, and then we got CEO. Shortly down after that. And then, of course, Evo next month. So lots of stuff going on. So as a final note for the interview, I'll throw it over to you guys. Any shout-outs or anything you want to say, I'll just give you an open mic, and we'll make that the last word.
Before I forget, I want to give a shout-out to J Maximilian from PSN. That's apparently my biggest fan ever. So, I can't forget. But
You got PSN fans. That's hilarious.
Hell yeah! Like every time I go to a tournament, I get random people sending me messages. I hope they like titty messages, but it never is. So
Didn't you just say earlier you had a girl? What the fuck?
what? Just because I have a girl don't mean I hate titties all of a sudden. Especially like.
Oh, that's, oh my god, fucking crazy. Anyway, well, with that, we'll leave titties as everyone's final message.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks you guys for coming on the podcast and chatting a little bit. And for everyone else listening, we will be back. Lots of stuff going on. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.